Okay, today's video is going to be a comparison between a geodesic dome and a pyramid greenhouse, that is. What I've done is I've tried to make these as similar as possible so you can get an even comparison. The dome diameter is 5.8 meters, just a tad over, and the pyramid is on a rectangular base which is 5.79 meters, 5.77 meters by 4.6 meters. Them measurements make it so that both the geodesic dome and the pyramid have exactly the same floor area. So this comparison is based on floor. We have a plan view here which shows the dome and pyramid from above. Let me just have a look, pull out the bases. Now this is this will be the bed arrangement in each side and the size, the floor area. Now the floor area on both of these is 26.7 square meters. The dome has a bed area. I'll just zoom in on this a bit. Jig that about a bit. Right, the dome has a bed area of 19.8 meters. This area here is the paths in it. Now the pyramid has a bed area of 19.9 meters, and this includes both the central one and the outside bed of on both of these. So that's the total bed area. So they've got approximately the same bed area and the same walkway area, which is not surprising, to be fair, because they've got the same layout. I can't see a more efficient way of laying out the pyramid or the dome to get more bed space and less walkway. So we have exactly the same bed area and walkway area, so we're comparing like for like. Right, let's look at the differences then. Let's first go to, try this. Yeah. We'll go to the surface area of the dome first. I've got that written down here. Right, what have we got here? We know that there's 105 panels, and the total surface area on this exact dome would be 69 square meters. If we look at the pyramid, here we go. This has 80 panels with a surface area of 45.1 square meters. So the dome in effect has a larger surface area than the pyramid. So that's the first difference. However, the dome also has vertical sides. Let's look at the pyramid, and that has sloping sides. So you won't get the growing headroom in the pyramid. That's probably why it has a lower surface area. I know that they do say there is no more efficient structure than a geodesic dome for surface area to volume, but on this case we're not looking at volume, we're looking at flow area, because that's our growing environment. The dome will have a bigger volume, but I don't think that plays such a big role as flow area in this context. Okay, well, from here we'll cut into the advantages that one has over the other, and we'll look at the advantages that the dome has over the pyramid first. Right, we have the dome versus the pyramid. Right, the advantages to the dome. Most people would know this already. It's stronger. There is no stronger shape than a geodesic dome because it's curved on two planes. Tunnels which are curved on one plane are fairly strong, but something curved on two planes is super strong. So there's nothing that's going to beat the geodesic dome for strength. Snow load in particular, and wind load, so it's going to be much stronger. That's not necessarily what would you call it, a killer difference, because if you want something super strong, you're in a high wind area, that it would be, but the pyramid isn't a weak structure, just that the dome is a lot stronger by nature. Right, the next one is the dome doesn't need internal supports. The pyramid, you really have to support it internally. Let me show you that now. I've had to put these supports from the frame down to the edge of the bed, like that. That's holding that steady, but I had to put 3 along this length, so they're spaced at about 1 every metre. I also put these corner pieces in here for support, but they're quite useful for hanging things off. So it doesn't add hugely to the cost, and they don't get in the way really, but it might be a deciding point. If you're not having this bed arrangement, or you're having something else, it might not be possible to get the supports in which case it probably wouldn't work for you as well. But these supports really have to go in. If you don't put them in, the sides will sag. It won't break or anything, but they'll sag, and it'll droop, and it won't look so nice. Now you can lift the if you had your plants at this level, you would get a bit more space, but these are coming in at about 30 degrees. Absolutely fine for something like microgreens, planting out early growth, things like that. And even larger plants, you wouldn't plant them next to the edge. You would plant in the middle here, and there's enough space for. I mean, I've grown tomatoes and things like that. There is enough space. But if we take a look at the dome, there's far more vertical space, so it is better. I would say from that. Right, we'll take a look at the advantages to the pyramid. Now, this is worth considering if you're trying to decide between the two. The pyramid has one triangle. There are no bevels on it. It's square timber, so effectively it was designed to be as simple as possible. There are these corner pieces which have to be cut on an angle, but there's only the 4 corners. All of these other triangles fit square together. It has a smaller surface area, so that might be an advantage in cold climates. If you double skinned it, surface area, to be honest, I don't think it's going to make that much difference, but it does have a smaller surface area, which it sometimes is useful. The next advantage of the pyramid is it's expandable. You could take this edge off, add another row, and make it another metre longer, and you could continue to do that. Again, you'd have to put your supports in. You could also disassemble it, and let me show you here. Take it all to bits and turn it into a row of cloches, because you could take the whole cut this corner and out, and make tiny greenhouses this size, cloche size, and convert the whole thing into cloches. Whereas with the dome, you can't add on to it. You'd have to either build another dome beside it, and then join it somehow, and you can't turn it into anything else. This one, the pyramid, you can turn into other things. You could turn it into cloches, you can extend it, things like that. The last point with the pyramid is it's not necessarily an advantage. If you have rectangular garden, and it can be a bit awkward to fit the dome in, because you get corners. That's purely a cosmetic or efficiency consideration, really. It would depend largely on the site. Sometimes a dome fits better, and sometimes a more rectangular. In my context in the garden, the dome that I have fitted better in the corner in a rectangular space. It was a tight space, it was rectangular, and I had 4.5 meters this way, so and a dome of the same area would have needed 5.8. It would have needed an extra meter and a bit, which I didn't have. So this fitted better for me. Okay, well that gives you an overview of the difference between the dome and pyramid. I will be uploading the plans for the pyramid to the website, including this top section, this new finished top section. But before I did that, I wanted to do the comparison and to let you know that it needs extra support. When I draw plans up, I like to make them first. I've done that with all the domes. I make them first and test them to make sure that they actually do work and don't fall to bits, and there's no issues. There are some structural issues with the pyramid that you have to put the supports in, but apart from that, it works fine. This video is just to give you an overview. If you were wanting to decide between, I mean, you can decide. It's a big enough choice to want to decide between all the different domes I do, but the pyramid one, it's different again. So this hopefully will help you decide which way you're going to go on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.